And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media, always providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate and tax planning, aviation, and real estate photography here on the Consumer Quarterback Show today. And it's all about helping you win, being your number one consumer advocate here in Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida through our radio and TV show right here on Salem Communications, 4 o'clock drive time, AM 860 The Answer. Got a weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone, and you can find our show as well on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Sony TV, and 85 other smart television outlets just by searching Binge Networks. That is our network there on the smart television devices as well. Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. Also, bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors there. Submit an email form directly through to myself and our team. We're going to make sure we get back to you before our head hits the pillow. Want to remind you, we got a launch party coming up, the Consumer Quarterback Show, moving to AM 860 The Answer. We moved to the 860 The Answer, rather. Thursday, October 10th, 6:30, over at Florida Firearms Academy, 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. And it's going to be a great time. We're going to have food, drinks. It's going to be a great time over there. Meet a lot of our expert contributors from the Consumer Quarterback Show and the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We've got a launch party coming up. Save the date, Thursday, October 10th, 6:30. You're invited. All of our listeners, our viewers are invited to this as well. So come on out and enjoy a nice evening of fellowship and hanging out with the whole team over there as well. All right, it's Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio. Captain Will Smith back in studio. Will Smith, Aviation. Welcome in, sir.
How you doing, Brandon?
Excellent.
Congratulations on your launch.
Thanks,
Looking forward
man.
to that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. We're excited about it.
Yeah, so am I. I can't wait to be there.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. Thomas made a joke yesterday on the show, though. He said, we're going to have food and drinks. He said, but we're locking down the gun range.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, good idea to do that. But it's a great event. It's 20,000 square feet, great opportunities, and a lot of room to work around there.
Yeah.
And we also have Juan Concheiro in studio, the flying realtor. Welcome in, sir.
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me back.
Hey, my pleasure. So we're going to be talking about the Bahamas. You two are working really hard to help the Bahamas, and a lot of local companies as well, helping bring relief efforts down.
Absolutely, yeah. We've been working really hard. Our team's been working really hard, and our partnership, of course, with Captain Will Smith has been extremely valuable to help those people in the Bahamas.
Yeah, very cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. And we got Garry Schofield in the house representing Febre Frameworks. Welcome in, Garry.
Good to be back.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming in.
So I thought we'd talk about our Part 107 pilots, kind of tying with the theme here.
Okay.
Our drone pilots today.
You got those drone pilots flying up there, taking those beautiful real estate photography, doing the videos, doing the Matterport, making the realtors look good, right?
That we do our best.
That's right. So, definitely. And with Febre Frameworks, you've heard Sean on the show, Sean Febre. You've heard Manny Febre. We've had Jeanette on the show. She actually just had a baby. So
yes,
congratulations.
And Caroline said hi as well.
Caroline said hi. And so great team over there at Febre Frameworks. They make all of our real estate properties look great. And speaking of those properties, let's check this one out. 861 Mandalay Avenue on Clearwater Beach. This is a gorgeous listing of mine. One of my favorite properties that we've got literally 200 steps away from the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of Clearwater Beach. 861 Mandalay Avenue. Properties listed just above $700,000. Great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. We also have a property at Port Marnock, 12610 Port Marnock Drive. This is a gated community, golf course community, and the beautiful drone photography complements of Febre Frameworks as well, you'll see coming up, shows that this is a great lot. There's no backyard neighbor or front yard neighbor, and the address is 12610 Port Marnock Drive in Odessa. Beautifully updated kitchen, gorgeous property, pool, spa, great opportunity. Too many upgrades to list here, but check out all of our real estate properties at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. And this segment is brought to you by The Lucky Dill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Lucky Dill, home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. And the food is excellent. The staff is very friendly. And 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard is the location here in Tampa. They've got a location in Palm Harbor off of 19, US 19 North. And online at luckydilldeli.com. They've got a restaurant, a deli, New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery, catering, banquets, and more. Excellent food over at the Lucky Dill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And let's get started here. We've got a great lineup today. Got Captain Will Smith in studio. Captain, we were talking, you were one of our first expert contributors back in the day over at the old radio station, and man, we've come a long way over these years, haven't we?
We sure have. It was like a closet, small closet. I think it was room for me, you, and one other standing person.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. But you have leaps and bounds. I've watched you grow.
Yeah, man.
It's been exciting to watch that.
Very cool. Yeah, likewise on your end as well with Will Smith Aviation. Tell us about Will Smith Aviation.
Well, we just obtained a office out in Lakeland, so we're working out of there, and also given a second location for On the Upwind, which is the flying club.
Nice.
That Juan is head of. So we're going to be doing a lot of exciting things out in Lakeland. Lakeland's growing a lot. You know, we have Prime coming in there, Amazon Prime. They're creating their base there, so they're building a huge hangar out there for those aircraft to fly in and out of.
Wow.
And of course, we have the Sun and Fun every year in April.
Yeah.
Which is awesome for the enthusiast that likes aviation, or the child that maybe is interested in becoming a pilot. So we're going to be doing a lot of awesome things out there in Lakeland.
Yeah, I love that.
Soon.
Yeah, it reminds me of a couple of my, Rob, I don't remember if I got you that bird song listing over there, but got some, properties that are for sale that in the fly-in communities. People don't even realize that these exist. You got a bird song. There's a listing that I have up in Lutz. It's bird song, Tampa North. But, there's so many unique properties. Yeah, there it is. There's the lot.
Boulevard, yeah. I'm familiar with that property.
Birdstone. That's where I learned to fly.
Yeah.
You taught me.
Flew there, yeah.
Juan, I think, as well. But there's a lot that I've got for sale available in a fly-in community. Can you explain what exactly a fly-in community is, Will?
Well, it's basically the land. It's right next to an airport. So those of you that want to have a house that are, of course, you have to be aviation driven, because a lot of people that don't, are not aviation driven don't want to live next to an airport because planes take off and land.
Right.
However, being in the aviation field, a lot of people have planes that they literally pull into their backyard. If some of the zoning allows you to put a hangar, some of it doesn't, but still, to be able to fly into your backyard, just like I live on Lake Odessa, that's a seaplane base, so we can fly seaplanes in there and then taxi around to the back of our house. But it's real convenient for people that say they might live in another city. If you got a plane, you just get up that morning like you would for work, jump in your plane, take off, and go fly to wherever you need to work.
Yeah, it
definitely beats the I-4 traffic, that's for sure.
Man, that's super cool.
Yeah.
I was watching one of these movies on Amazon Prime or something. It was Secession, I think, but they've got the helicopters up there in New York City or something. Just what a cool lifestyle.
One penthouse to the other.
Yeah, pretty neat.
Yep.
So we're talking with Will Smith here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Will Smith Aviation, and you guys have been instrumental in helping a lot of relief efforts down to and we talked with Juan on the show as well. The Caring for the Bahamas was the website that we were talking about. Tell us about some of the latest.
Well, our last trip that we took, Juan and I went out there in the Pilatus. We had such a great response. We had one of our sponsors, Murphy Auto Group. Their charitable part was the aircraft and the fuel, and so we were able, with the size of the aircraft, load up. Juan was about 1,300 pounds. Of relief that we took out there, and we were able to make 2 stops, one in Freeport and also one in Marsh Harbor. It's the first time Juan and I both had gone into Marsh Harbor, so that place looked like a war. I mean, it was so devastating and so sad to see the people, and it just really pulls at your heartstrings, because these people are stuck there with nothing but more than maybe a tent to live in, or what was left of their home with tarps, to protect them from the sun and the rain. And it's just kind of one of those things. You go out there, you've got to leave, but you don't want to leave. And when you do come home, you think about these people that you left, and while you got your feet propped up watching, the 5 o'clock news, these people are trying to repair their lives and rebuild what they lost. And you can't help but reach out and do the humanitarian thing and be a part of that, and put everything like our troubles we have here in the U.S., you put that behind you.
Right.
Because these people have real real trouble. And Florida itself, the people and the small businesses in Florida have stepped to the plate more than I've seen anyone else, because that's our neighbor. Bahamas is our neighbor. They're our friends. We're passionate about the Bahamas. That's our beloved Bahamas, as we call it. But we've got an opportunity to help out a lot of people, and we're going to continue to do it, because this is not something that's going to go on for a week or a month. This is going to be years. It's going to take an entire generation to rebuild what was destroyed. If you think about it, a hurricane, you have a Category 5 hurricane, 180 mile an hour winds for 24 plus hours. On top of that, add 19 tornadoes.
Yeah.
On top of that, add a flood surge, which is the size of a tidal wave of 30 feet.
Yeah.
No one can survive that.
And sharks.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's just the island at one point was completely washed underwater. And then, of course, when the tides resided, the island came back. But when it came back, there was nothing left. No people, no homes, no
What's
trees.
the death toll now?
It was over 1,000 that are missing, and most of them are still trapped under structures and debris that just haven't had a chance to move. Right now, they're just trying to clear the roads.
Yeah.
So the bodies that they could find were the ones visible, but then there's ones that you can't find that are hidden underneath something, and they probably won't find them until months or years later when they get to that area to clear it out.
Wow. Yeah. Crazy stuff. Devastation in the Bahamas, and just the fact that you don't have the bare necessities down there. The humidity's, I'm sure, a killer. The mosquitoes, I'm sure. The no-see-ums, all those types of things. So we're going to talk more about that on the flip side here of how you can get involved if you do want to help out. WillSmithAviation.com is the website as well. And we've got Juan Concheiro in studio, Garry Schofield as well from Febre Frameworks. And coming up, we have our feel-good story of the day. His opponent was on the verge of collapsing, so he carried him to the finish line. Found out about that in our feel-good story of the day. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter, the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook, and hit us up on LinkedIn. We would love to connect with you there. And, of course, subscribe to our channel on YouTube as well. You'll be the first to see all of our latest releasing content. And we'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. My wife and I own and operate the Platinum MVP team, and we've got about 15 agents now on the team, and it's all about helping our buyers, sellers, and investors win in their deals. A lot of times on the buy side, you've got realtors out there offering too much money for properties. There are some properties that are overpriced, especially if you're talking about a for sale by owner. And then on the flip side of that, the selling side, we want to help you maximize the exposure on the sale of your real estate properties. So we've got a hot property here in Odessa I want to tell you about, 1645 Parker Point Boulevard. And this property is in a gated community with a lake inside the community. So if you're a boater, fisherman, this is a gorgeous opportunity. Very clean home. 1645 Parker Point Boulevard in Odessa here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Check out the website. You'll see the photography compliments of Febre frameworks, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, open floor plan with a huge garage here and a beautiful property in Odessa. 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa is a Bayport area, town and country area, and you've got a waterfront 2-story home here with a pool with a freshwater canal on a lake that leads out into upper Tampa Bay. So you have bay access here at 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa, and the property has been completely renovated, gorgeous on the inside, and the owner's motivated. We're taking offers. So check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com for all of our real estate listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And this segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort on beautiful Gulf Boulevard in Treasure Island, filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. And 90% of the rooms overlook the beaches, and they're newly renovated variety of rooms, whether you're a solo traveler, couples, or families, that include 55-inch high-definition flat-screen TV, comfy beds, and a full suite of kitchen options. The best rates can be found online at BilmarBeachResort.com. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. They also have Sloppy Joe's restaurant and bar right there on site. Treasure Island, one of the best places in all of Tampa Bay to be hanging out on the weekends for your local staycation. Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I want to give a shout out to our friends with the Tampa Build Expo as well. Florida's largest building and construction show is returning to the Tampa Convention Center on November 6th and 7th, and we're going to be there. The Platinum MVP team, the Consumer Quarterback Show, we're going to have a booth here. And this huge show features thousands of innovative products and services to show special pricing, live demos, and over 25 industry-leading classes, including accredited sessions. If you're a contractor, builder, architect, engineer, designer, or property manager, anyone involved with the building and construction industry, you can't afford to miss this show. Secure great pricing on products and services you need, stay up to date on industry trends, and network with thousands of key industry decision makers. The best part is that it's all free for industry pros. Sign up at buildexpousa.com, buildexpousa.com, or give them a call at 877-219-3977. 877-219-3976, that is, and build your business at the Build Expo. All right, so back here in studio, we got Captain Will Smith in studio, Will Smith Aviation, and Juan Concheiro. We're going to talk with Juan now, the flying realtor. Now, Juan, you guys are business partners now. You and Captain Will, you're working together in some capacity, sure, and doing a lot of good things to help the Bahamas out as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, being able to partner with someone like Will Smith is absolutely amazing for our capacity of being able to get the supplies out there as well. So we have we got a couple partners out there. We also have a shipping vessel that's taking supplies over to the Bahamas. They're actually in Freeport currently, and they got about 8 shipping containers through Good Samaritan Shipping Ministries. So they're definitely helping us do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Nice. And
as Will was mentioning, we've been to Freeport a few times already by plane, during this whole relief effort. But going to Marsh Harbor in the Abacos was the first time. The last trip was the first time that I had been there, and to say it was moving is probably definitely an understatement. It was very surreal to see all that and just kind of walking through just the the rubble. That's all it was.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the pictures there. And at one point, I walked up and there was steps to someone's house, and next to the steps were a little girl's shoes. It was insane to be able to see that. And then the rest of it is all of a sudden at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm back in Tampa and I'm in the supermarket buying eggs, and it's like you get back to think about it and you're like, man, this is
paradigm shift, right?
Yeah.
It's a complete paradigm shift. It's like, bad, great.
Absolutely. So, that was really eye-opening for us. Freeport is bad as well. It's just not anywhere on the devastation level as what Marsh Harbor and the Abacos are. So that was just surreal for us to see
and
that.
How far apart are those 2 points?
We're about, 30-minute flight there, Cap?
Yeah, the Abacos, Grand Abacos are the furthest east, and then you have the West End, which is the Freeport Island. And that's west of it. So when the eye flew over and hit actual Marsh Harbor, it slowed it down a little bit, and the winds weren't as bad. Freeport didn't get those strong 180-mile-an-hour winds. It didn't get 19 tornadoes, but it kind of took the blunt of it coming right off the ocean, and it was devastating. It's a small little island. It's got one road that runs from Sandy Point all the way up to Treasure Cay, and there's nothing left. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing left.
Last year, just 1 year removed, we were looking at a big storm coming right up the gut of Tampa. I mean, it sucked all the water out of the bay. I'm sure you guys saw those images. I mean, how close were we to having something similar happen to us here?
Right? Yeah, it wasn't far at all. The West Bank is only 90 miles off the east coast of Florida. So, and then you have another 120 miles from the east coast of Florida is going to be the Abacos. So it's not that far away.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, you guys did an event last weekend too. How'd that go?
It was amazing, actually. We did a benefit concert for the Bahamas, and we had some partners, actually Keller Williams agents as well, out of Dunedin, and they, we in the midst of putting this all together and flying and logistics and trying to get clearances to get over there. They called and said, hey, we're going to put on a concert. And I said, okay. And I go, when? She's like, in 10 days. I said, wow, okay. All right, let's go for it, And they did. And it was to see it all come together so quickly was awesome.
They had a good turnout?
It was amazing turnout. Wow. Absolutely amazing turnout. Raised a lot of money for the Bahamas. And so we had, there's a little bit of a shift after seeing what happened over there in Abacos on kind of what our direction is as caring for the Bahamas. We've kind of like now started to try to pinpoint and sponsor families. We've met some families as well because we have, like I said, the shipping vessel is going, and it's taking all the heavy lifting stuff, right? All the big heavy equipment, a lot of the, like I'm talking about 8 20-foot shipping containers full of supplies, right?
Wow. Who pays for that?
So it's all donations as well. So Good Samaritan Shipping Ministries and then also the J.J. Lion Guard Foundation are the ones that are paying for that vessel to go back and forth, and it'll keep going back and forth as much as it's possible. Wow. But our change is going to, trying to find. We did find a couple families that we met last time at Freeport, and just how grateful they were for just for us coming over to help. And one of our pilots, Eric, had met this family prior, and when we got back there, he remembered that Eric's kid was going through some health issues, and remembered it and just asked him about it. And I was just sitting there watching. I go, man, dude, this guy's lost everything, and still remembered that his kid was going through something, and remember to ask about him, tell him that we're praying for him. And I was like, all right. So this is, I think, the new direction that we're kind of focusing on now is trying to sponsor some individual families.
So how can our listeners get involved? If there's listeners out there, we got some great listeners on AM 860 The Answer, 1025 The Bump. I mean, our stations are awesome. How can they get involved? What are you looking for? What do we need to do?
So on caringforthebahamas.com, we have our donation page, and that's going to be the easiest way because we're going to go shopping specifically for these individual families. And so our warehouse over in Ybor City will be is closed now to all supplies, just looking for building out supplies there now. So we do need volunteers there still to help sort and pallet a lot of the supplies that are going on the shipping vessel. But I think now the easiest thing is going to be if someone wants to donate financially, we are going to go shop for a specific family. So if that family has a family of 4 and they need these specific items, we're going to go get those, and then
Yeah.
Captain Will Smith and I are going to fly it out there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just being able to pinpoint more targeted certain things that they might need, medicines and those types of things. Another challenge we talked about was the fuel costs. A lot of times, it falls on the pilots. Fuel is a big one.
Yep. So that's the donation page as well. If they want to help there as well, that'd be the easiest one for them, logistically wise.
Yeah.
To help, right? Because no matter what, the whole community comes out and an outpour of support.
Yeah.
But no matter what, even if you put a list of stuff together, people still bring kind of what they want.
Yeah.
And so sometimes a lot of the volunteers spend more time sorting stuff through as opposed to getting the supplies that we actually need to go.
Yeah.
There.
What about something just cleaning out closet? Clothes that you don't wear, shirts, socks, all those things.
So we had a group that's actually helping donate new clothing items, and then the problem was when we did the Hurricane Irma down in the Keys, we were going through. We didn't really have a plan back then.
Yeah.
So while we were going through all those clothes, we started finding fur coats and things like that. So it's tough. We got to kind of try to stick
Fur
to the
coats,
list.
stuff like that. I mean, you get common sense type stuff. All right, we're coming into a break here. When we come back, our feel-good story of the day, and his opponent was on the verge of collapsing, so he carried him to the finish line. We'll be right back after this short break.
Sorry about that.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. And our goal is to help you maximize the exposure on the sale of your real estate properties, and we do that very well here at the Consumer Quarterback Show. Just featured in Real Producers Magazine. Real excited about that. Real Producers Magazine just did a 2 or 3 page spread on us. My wife and I, Lindsay, and the whole family got involved with this one, so it's pretty cool to be highlighted in that magazine. Real Producers Magazine. Got to go above $10 million in volume, I believe, is the cutoff for the Real Producers Magazine. So some pretty cool stuff there happening around the Consumer Quarterback Show. Real excited about a lot of the growth and the move over to AM 860 The Answer. Real excited for our new radio family here. We want to remind you about the show. It's all about helping you understand your buying decisions, being a consumer advocate, making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So we want you to think about this show as a different show, not a passive show where we're just sitting back listening. This is a show where we want to get you involved. We want you to reach out to our consumer advocate hotline and think of this show as the hub of your financial, your business, your real estate wheel. All of those spokes extending out, representing another one of our expert contributors, our preferred partners, and over 80 categories of expert contributor advice where we can help you credit improvement, real estate, tax, all types of different areas. So reach out to us, and our hotline number is 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number, and you can reach out to us there. And also bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors, their contact information available under the expert contributors tab. You can also submit an email form directly through to my team. And we're going to make sure we answer your questions and get back to you in a very timely manner. 8239 26th Avenue North in St. Petersburg. This is a hot listing that we have. Just reduced this property $50,000, and we're expecting multiple offers on this, now a short sale property here in Tampa Bay. Boy Scout and Burrell Road here in Odessa. This is vacant land, 10 acres available in Odessa. Perfect for a church or a daycare. Most likely it's going to be a residential, high-end residential property. This is $2.498 million listing of mine at 18117 Boy Scout Road in Odessa. Prime waterfront, 2 custom estate style home sites available with the availability of 1 single family home per 5 acre parcel. So it's more of an estate style home available. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.com. And I want to remind you about our launch party coming up for the Consumer Quarterback Show, moving over to AM 860 The Answer, Thursday, October 10th, 6:30. You are invited. If you're a listener or viewer of our TV show, you are invited. Florida Firearms Academy is the location, thanks to Thomas King and all the fellows over there. 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. And it's we are going to be there Thursday, October 10th, 6:30 p.m. Special entertainment, food, and drinks. It's going to be a great party. Come on out and meet a lot of our expert contributors. If you're a business owner, it's a great networking opportunity for you too. A lot of connections to be had, right, Will? A lot of people out there. Yep, lots of opportunity here. Yep, it's going to be a great time, and we got a great lineup today. We got Captain Will Smith in the house, Will Smith Aviation, Juan Concheiro as well, theflyingrealtor.com, and we also have Garry Schofield in studio here. Coming up with Garry here, I want to just plug our sponsor for this segment is Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, they are a first-class organization. Whether you're playing a local or long-distance move, they do a great job. Reach out to Brothers Easy Moving. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, Garry Schofield, tell us a little bit of what's happening on over at Febre Frameworks. Doing a great job.
Well, I got to start with this. We are active in Jacksonville now. We've expanded up there. Not don't know how many listeners here,
cool.
but any local clients we have, you have offices or other realtors in Jacksonville. Spread the word. We're up there, and already got a couple appointments this week, and nice homes, and looking forward to that expansion going well.
Very cool, man. Yeah, Jacksonville's, their football team's doing pretty good, I guess, too. I heard that, saw that quarterback, some special with that new quarterback there.
There were some nice games this weekend for local teams, I think.
Yeah. The Bucks putting up 55. That was pretty cool. Wow. So for Brave Frameworks, a lot of realtors are still doing the photography on their phone. It's a big no-no in the business, right?
I every week, I'm the sales guy there, so every week I kind of do some, not every time, but I'll look and see. I have a excuse me, a new client, or they're calling in to ask about what we do, and I'll look up their listing and see the photos, the dark, shadowy ones. You can't even make out what some of the rooms are. And I'm happy to say, well, let me share a couple of our photos, and it's cool if I can find a really close house to what theirs is, and they go, wow, look at the difference. And then on the tail end, I find out afterwards, it says, so with the new photos, your listing was out there for 2.5 months. Is it on a contract? Yeah, in 2 weeks. So the photos have proven in the year that I've been there, the photos are essential to selling or getting quicker offers and closer to full asking price for these homes. It works.
The studies prove it. Just like home staging does that. You can actually do virtual staging now with the photography, but the studies prove it, and the statistics show that a home that's professionally photographed with proper lighting is going to sell less days on the market, higher sales price, and that's what it's all about.
That would be my concern if I'm trying to sell somebody's house. Yeah, top dollar and as soon as possible.
Yep. So and then let's talk about the drones. So we got a couple pilots in studio today, and in the early days of the drones, weren't there some near misses or some problems with drones flying up there?
I'm sure there still are.
Yeah.
But technology is coming in where a lot of them, if it's a restricted airspace, they won't even allow our drones to take off. So, which is cool because that alleviates a lot of problems. That solved a lot of problems that would have happened. So that helps out. But on the all of our photographers are FAA Part 107 pilots. They have to go through a course. It's not the same as these guys who have passengers, but they do have to respect and be aware of the FAA laws and rules and regulations. Can't fly over a swimming pool, for instance, but with a bunch of people bathing, that's... so there's still some gray areas, but they have restrictions and they abide by it. And some people flying drones don't have that license, and you're asking for trouble if something goes wrong.
I love the drones, especially for that listing, for example, on the beach, that property out in Mandalay, 761 Mandalay Avenue. To throw a drone above it and then point it towards the beach, and you show that you're literally one block off the beach. That's a big selling point.
Perfect, and there's so many situations where it's the beach, golf course, any body of water, or proximity to downtown when you can see the downtown buildings. Okay, well that's 2 miles away. I mean, it gives a proximity of the neighborhood, the community, swimming pool, parks, clubhouse, whatever you got around. It gives a whole concept that you can't get driving down through the trees at ground level.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So we're talking with Garry Schofield here. Febre Frameworks in the house. FebreFrameworks.com. A longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and the real estate side has changed. There's a trend towards technology. Talk about that Matterport, the ability to put a Matterport tour through.
Okay, so they've expanded the number of photos you can have in the MLS, and there's really no restriction on social websites. The next step up, videography, kind of took another big step. The cameras are on gimbals where it kind of looks like it's floating through air. You don't see the movements of each step that the photographer is taking, so it's very smooth. And then beyond that was this Matterport 3D, which is kind of like... I guess Google Maps, where you can enter into a room, click on a spot in the room, and walk yourself through, spin it 360. You can look up and down, so you can get a real sense what the whole room looks like and how it relates to where the next room is, and walk yourself through the entire house at your own pace.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It also has laser beams that measure the room for you.
Wow.
So if you need actual square footage, there's a 2D floor plan.
That's pretty cool.
That it generates. Yeah, it's amazing. Who'd have thunk?
The technology today, it's amazing how it works out. And when you think about Febre Frameworks, come a long ways. I remember meeting with Sean 5 years ago, roughly, 4 or 5 years ago, and now to see, how big is the team? How can you?
Oh, we got probably over a dozen photographers now.
Yeah.
6 editors, office staff, and so over 20.
Yeah.
Well over 20, probably close to 2 dozen.
Yeah.
Nice small company. Very well run, of course, and I'm happy to be in the earlier stages here because they really growing fast now, and the reputation speaks for itself. Hundreds and hundreds of 5-star reviews. Google and Facebook. So look us up and call us. We're here for everybody.
Yeah. Reach out to the show. Any questions you have from the show, or anybody you want to engage with, you want to find out more about caring for the Bahamas or Febre Frameworks or Will Smith Aviation, reach out to the show. We'd love to connect with you. 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number, 813-670-7372. You can call or text that line. It's an off-air line, and we would love to talk to you there on the Consumer Quarterback Show and be that resource for you. Also, the website, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors, and you can also submit a form at consumerqb.com. And when we come back, more from our expert contributors. We're going to jump into our lightning round. We got Captain Will Smith in the house, Garry Schofield, Juan Concheiro, and our feel-good story of the day. His opponent was on the verge of collapsing, so he carried him to the finish line. Find out about that in our feel-good story of the day, and we'll be right back after the short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Ian back.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. We'd love to have you check it out. Leave us a review of our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. I've got a hot listing here in Tampa Bay. I've got a lot of vacant land. 1401 Seminole Boulevard, for example, in beautiful Pinellas County. This is in Largo. 1401 Seminole Boulevard. It's a corner lot, 0.82 acres. Great opportunity. The owner's motivated. He actually has a set of plans ready to go for an office. It's ideal for an office, medical, retail, restaurant, goods and services. 200 feet of frontage on Seminole Boulevard. So great opportunity in Largo. Pinellas County vacant land. There's not much more of that vacant land available in Pinellas County. Also in Tampa, I've got property available as well. 9200 Gun Highway, for example, in Tampa. It's a corner lot. You've probably driven this corner before. So Gun Highway, if you're traveling north and you make a left onto Racetrack Road, it's going to bring you right through to Odessa. So 9200 Gun Highway, corner lot. Very popular corner there, Racetrack Road and Gun Highway. Corner lot available, 9200 Gun Highway in Odessa. Lots of real estate property available. Check out our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, every day we're going to tell you something positive in our feel-good story of the day, and today we have a good one.
Tell me something good.
His opponent was on the verge of collapsing, so he carried him to the finish line. Opening day of the IAAF World Athletics Championships in Doha, Qatar, saw an incredible moment of sportsmanship in the men's 5,000-meter heats. You got Sunkar Dabo saw fellow runner Jonathan Busby of Aruba struggling on the final lap and helped him to the finish line. After the race, the two athletes who had never met before embraced during an emotional reunion. And you're the biggest man with the biggest heart, Busby told Dabo. And a pretty cool story. You know, I love our feel-good story of the day. It's interesting how, you know, the internet gets involved, and you know, you have a lot of different stories where people are going to GoFundMe, setting up GoFundMe accounts and those types of things. And Facebook, of course, is always big for the quotes as well. So let's jump into our lightning round here.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, here we go. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Captain Will Smith, WillSmithAviation.com.
I would reach out to the people out there and let them know there's always something larger than yourself. By going over to the Bahamas, it really puts things in perspective. You know, go out there and do something kind for another person. And you don't always necessarily need to talk about it. Just go and do it. Yeah. Because there are people struggling, and we have it good here in the United States of America. We have it better than a lot of people really know. And going over to a place like the Bahamas and seeing the devastation really puts things in perspective. So always remember that there's always something larger out there than you, and kind of focus and do something kind for another person that's in need.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, I forgot to mention published author. What's the book again?
Ditches to Riches.
Ditches to Riches. Awesome.
That's one of a couple I've written.
Cool. Juan Concheiro, the Flying Realtor.
Well, Will's advice to me, back when we were training, was don't forget to put your landing gear down. So that was always his
there you go.
his big one. But I just wanted to give a couple shout outs to Febre Framework. So in the realtor side of it, I'm an agent with Domain Homes, and we're a builder, and they do all our work. So it's nice to finally meet you in person. So thank you for that.
That's awesome.
On that side as well, we work with your team as well, and we work with Erin, one of your agents, and we're working on a deal right now with her as well. So wanted to give out shout outs to those guys. So
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, good stuff. And thanks for all you're doing down there. For, you know, you're the president of On the Upwind Flying Club. Pretty cool how you guys always get involved with these things happen. Last year you were flying supplies to the Panhandle too.
We had a team. We had a team that was. They did a lot of trucking it to the Panhandle.
Yep.
We did more in Key West.
That's right. The Keys.
Down
Key
in the
West.
Keys.
Yep. Awesome. Very cool.
Thanks.
Garry Schofield, top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom, sir.
Well, first of all, it's kind of cool that we have 2 out of 3 of the guests here are some of our clients. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next time we hope to get 3 out of 3. But but I want to go back to, instead of just talking about Febre, and I know that they have big hearts, what these two have talked about with the Bahamas. I got to tell you, I'm probably going to go back to the office and figure out a way that I can do something. It's kind of faded. The first week it goes away from the news so much. It was right there 24 hours. Don't let it fade away. Find some way to help these guys, and I'll just leave it with that.
Yeah, the aftermath doesn't fade away. It's there for a long time, and that's what we really need to focus on, how we're going to help rebuild our beloved Bahamas.
Yeah, and it reminds me also of Haiti. I remember back in the day when Haiti had the earthquakes and the devastation down there. There was so many people that poured in donations, but it was interesting to see there was some type of documentary or some kind of follow-up where the actual follow-through of people that pledged that didn't pledge, or the money got diverted, it didn't go where it was supposed to go to, and you also had a lot of where people are taking money and they shouldn't have.
Right. And that
have
happens, unfortunately. That's why we fly direct. Our mission is directly to the people.
Yeah, exactly. So consumer advocate tip here. I was going to say something about how many businesses fail. We have a lot of business owners that listen to our show here, and it was an interesting post that one of my friends put out the other day. It was there's 627,000 businesses that are started every year. 22% of these businesses fail after the first year, and then 50% fail after 5 years. And the most common reason is cash flow. So cash is king, of course, in the business world. And it's not about raising capital. It's about believing in your product, believing in your service, and doing the right thing for the customer. I think that's a big one. And it reminds me of, one of my favorite talking points when I do my public speaking events is I talk about a Dr. Edward Banfield of Harvard. He conducted a 50-year study into the upward socioeconomic mobility of Americans and people around the world. So in other words, how do some people come to this country? They're born with nothing. How do they become successful? How do people raise their level of income? How do they rise from poverty to riches? And the number one factor that Banfield conducted, or with this study he conducted, was long-time perspective, developing long-time perspective. So in essence, how long in the future are you planning? How long are you thinking through your ideas and your business models? And it goes back to these businesses that fail. A lot of them don't have the strategic plan in place. They're not planning for cash flow. They're overestimating. There's something also called confirmation bias. So many times we have an idea and we want to confirm that in our mind or with our friends. We're biased with that idea that we have. So confirmation bias can kill, and you got to be careful with that. All right, let's do another round of top tips and nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Captain Will Smith.
I'm starting to run out of advice, but what I can tell you is that go home and love your hug your loved ones tonight, and think about what you're talking about with people with success. It does take about 10 years. There is no short-term success. That's where I wrote the book Ditches the Riches, because that's where it started. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things that, and the doctor's absolutely correct. It's long-term. You got to plan where you're going to be 10 years from now. And that's part of the step to success.
Yeah, and then think about the ladder. Think of it as a ladder, and each rung on that ladder is going to represent another step, another potential expansion. For example, with the Febre framework, expanding to Jacksonville. Those are things that don't come easily, and it takes time to get there. So you got to do it calculated. You got to really have ideas as far as a marketing plan, the business plan in place before you make those steps, because so many times you have that confirmation bias in your mind, and you think it's going to work, and you tell yourself it's going to work, and unfortunately you didn't look at the business dynamics, the competition. There's so many ways. So again, over 50% of those businesses failing after 5 years. Interesting stats, and the stats prove it. Juan Concheiro.
With in light of the Bahamas, anything that anybody can do to help, even just spread the word of what's happening and helping us support them would be amazing. So that's really kind of and if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, make sure you call Brandon Rhymes.
Like and share this show. I appreciate
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Like and share this. Just simple as if you don't have time, you don't have the money, you're too busy, you're strapped yourself, just share this message with someone. Share this message on your accounts, your Facebook team, tag us in it, and we would love to reshare it as well. Garry Schofield.
Drive like you have a brain. My dad always taught me when I was young, learn to drive defensively. Didn't really know what that meant at first, but as you go through life, you see people are distracted, or who knows what some of them are doing, but just keep your eyes open. All you can do is take care of yourself. You don't know what that car next to you or ahead of you is going to do last minute or all of a sudden. So just look out for the other person, and hold doors for people that are having a struggle, having a hard time getting in. Look out for the elderly.
Yeah, be kind. Be kind. It kind of goes down to having empathy. Finding out, if you can be empathetic, especially in business, it works. It's one of the number one strategies when it comes to negotiation is being empathetic for that other person's position. Your counterpart. You don't have to necessarily agree with that person, but if you can be empathetic and put yourself in their point of view from their perspective, you're going to have a better understanding of why they're motivated the way they are, and then essentially you're going to be able to at that point, find out what their underlying reasons for the way that they're acting, and then you'll be able to, have a better rational decision, and move them to that point.
Sometimes just being nice and saying thank you or holding that door eliminates that ever coming up. You just made somebody's bad day. Oh wow, thank you. put a smile on their face.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's good stuff. So, hey, I want to thank Garry Schofield, Febre Framework. Say hello to Sean and Manny and the whole team, Jeanette, Carolyn, and Captain Will Smith Aviation as well. Thanks so much for coming on the show and helping out with the Bahamas. Juan Concheiro, theflyingrealtor.com. Thank you as well for all the efforts all you guys are doing, man. Taking time. That's your busy schedule. Everybody's busy. You're taking time to fly down to the Bahamas and help out people you've never met. In many cases, you've never met these people, but it's building up that goodwill out there, and God forbid it happens to us. And they always, we don't have enough time, but they talk about Tampa having that buried Indian mound. Have you guys heard that story? Protecting us from the hurricanes. I've heard that. But hey, another great show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, and hand it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.